Hey guys, day 27 of 365-day journey of transformation. Um, Today I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that prevent us from actually one either engaging in a journey of transformation at all, or two, beginning a journey of transformation and then giving up on it really quickly because it just becomes too hard. Um, so it really is rooted in what our underlying beliefs are about life, about ourselves, about other people, about what is possible. And so the first thing I think to recognize is that every belief that you have is a choice that you make, um, or that you made at some point early on in your life, most likely. Um, but that your beliefs are not, for the most part, based on anything factual. Beliefs are almost always based on assumptions that we make, which may or may not be true. Um, but they're assumptions that we make that are based on feelings that we have about the world, and quite often those feelings are fears that we have about, all kinds of things. So Um, so I think the first thing to recognize is that when you have a belief about something, don't assume that your belief is a belief because it's true. Often it's a coping mechanism for some underlying fear or some very powerful underlying emotion. So that's the first thing I wanted to say about that. Um, and then I think that part of the journey of transformation is becoming more aware, being able to identify what your underlying beliefs are, and then the fears that motivate your particular belief system. Um, and that requires something called self-awareness, um, which again I think is a big part of a huge element of the journey of transformation and the value that that journey actually will provide you if you stay with it, is that it will also become a journey in increased self-awareness. So and I can't there's no way I can possibly overemphasize the importance of self-awareness. It's absolutely everything. um, knowing who you are, both what's good about you and what needs improvement in you, is absolutely critical to you being able to bring the incredible beauty and value of who you are to the world. Um, and just on a more basic level, it's an absolute prerequisite for you being happy. So to the extent that you're self-aware, to that same extent you'll be happy and at peace, and you'll find joy in living. You'll find meaning in living. You'll find purpose in living. Um, and to the extent that you don't have that, you won't. So self-awareness is huge. I would say that hands down the greatest value of engaging in a journey of transformation is the increased self-awareness it will bring you if you're intentional about looking for the things that the journey is showing you. I talked before about confronting fears that came up as a result of me, implementing certain practices, or just saying I'm not gonna use these things as escapes, like watching Netflix or eating sugar, um, or sleeping too much or whatever it might be. There are 1,000 different escapes that we can engage in. Um, and so when as I've begun implementing these practices and not allowing myself the escapes that I usually indulge in, it's brought up fears. It's brought up an awareness of very specific fears that I have, and so that's huge. That's really important because part of the other thing that is required on a journey of transformation is courage, and the reason it requires courage is because you have to face fear and head on and not run away from it. So even something as simple as working out can be painful. It's not excruciating pain, but any level of discomfort is a low level of pain. And we want, and we're programmed to avoid anything uncomfortable. So that is, that's what I wanted to say about that. Just, yeah, the belief systems that we have and the underlying fear that motivates those belief systems. That fear is not our enemy, it's our friend if we choose to make it so. That's another thing that I think it's really important to grasp. Yeah, so, and I think it's a particularly apt thing to be talking about right now with coronavirus and huge amounts of fear and uncertainty and anxiety that people are experiencing. And that is, again, that this is an opportunity to face fear, become aware of the things you're afraid of, face them head on, and start asking yourself what you can do to actually act courageously in the face of fear. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for a lot of things, but it's certainly an opportunity for that, because once this is over, moving forward, it's going to give you, you will have an increased ability to face difficult things if you use this as an opportunity to grow in self-awareness and to allow this to be something that creates deeper character in you, more courage, more perseverance, more creativity. There are a lot of things that can grow out of this if we see it as an opportunity and not just as something to be gotten past as quickly as possible, although we certainly want it to go as quickly as possible. But while it's here, try to see it as a gift, not just as a terrible thing, or as a painful thing. So, yeah, those are some of my thoughts for today, I guess. A little bit scattered, a little bit fragmented, kind of all over the place, I realize, but I wanted to try to share some of that with you. I've been thinking a lot about beliefs, a lot about fear, a lot about self-awareness, and how all those things are inextricably connected. And so let's get some new beliefs. If you believe the coronavirus is a terrible thing, change that belief. That sounds radical. It sounds ridiculous. And I don't in any way want to minimize the suffering that people are experiencing as a result of the coronavirus. But you actually have the choice to believe that it's a good thing, or that at the very least, it has the potential. Look, here's the deal. Anything painful creates soil that is incredibly fertile for something beautiful to grow out of. That's just the truth. That's the reality. So you can choose to see this as an incredible opportunity. You can actually choose to believe that this is an opportunity for me to think about everything differently. It's an opportunity for self-examination, for self-growth and self-transformation. It's an opportunity to face my fears, identify them, and face them, and instead of running away from them, and transform those fears into something beautiful and good. That's what essentially that's what transformation is about. That's what the journey of transformation is about. It's taking something negative, something difficult, something painful, and allowing it to go through a sort of alchemical process which transforms it into gold. And that's what we're all about. That's what we're trying to do. So choose to see this as something positive, not just at least partially positive. And it'll be positive to the extent that you choose to see it that way. So do that. Choose to look for opportunities at a time when people might be telling you that there are no